Warriors, your dollar is collapsing. What are you going to do? My name is Coach JV. I am the top health and mindset coach in the world. What you believe in your heart, you think in your mind, will eventually become your words and become your reality. You're going to want to watch this video all the way through. We're going to talk about your dollar and how it's deflating, the purchasing power when it was created, and the purchasing power around 2020. And we're going to show you some bills that have been enacted right now under your nose as you're watching all this big narrative with the election and all the different C word and the pandemic and all that stuff. There's a narrative that's happening right behind the scene, warriors. And you're not being taught about this in school. You're not being taught about this on the news or the media. But the narrative is going to come fast and furious, and it's going to be trickled out. But the narrative is already happening. The problem is most people are looking this way when the billionaires are running this way. So I'm here to educate you. I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. I just decided to share with you the information I've been researching for the past 9 years, which has taken me on this journey to become a warrior in a modern day society, to start to watch the billionaires and do what they do, not what they say. And so I'm on my journey to generational wealth. Now, I've made a lot of mistakes along that journey, but that's how I've learned. And so I'm a warrior coach. I own the Warrior Academy, 3T Warrior Labs, and the Coach JV podcast. But before we do, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, hit that notification button. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. And I'm going to start out with this Joe Rogan clip. But before we get started, do you guys know who Joe Rogan is? He has 9.6 million subscribers. He has a #1 podcast in the world. So let's digest that for just a moment. He has 9.6 million subscribers just on YouTube. He just did a huge multi-million-dollar deal for Spotify, one of the biggest deals in history. He is the top podcaster in the world. Let me repeat that. He is the top podcaster in the world, and most of you know who Joe Rogan is. Let's go ahead and, what I want you to do is do your research. Don't trust a word I say on any of this stuff. Do your own research, okay? I'm just sharing information that I'm researching on a daily basis. Hopefully it helps. Comment down below if it helps, okay? All right, so check this out. This is the beginning of one of his podcasts, number 844, with Andreas Antonopoulos. I will attach this video within the description, but listen how this starts. And go back and look or type in Joe Rogan cryptocurrency and see how many times he's talked about cryptocurrency in the last 3 months. Here we go.
All you creeps that are controlling money all throughout the world, your time is slowly closing in. Am I right?
Yep.
Andreas Antonopoulos, published author of The Internet of Money. You've been on the show many times before, but you've never been on the show 2 days after a book fresh off the presses. Tell a story about how this book got delivered to you today, because it's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, so nobody knew about this. This is my announcement. This is my second book. First book was Mastering Bitcoin, was for techies. The Internet of Money is for everybody else, and it's a collection of my talks. And I was having the first copy delivered to my hotel this morning in order to bring it to the show and give it to you.
So I'm going to stop right there. I highly recommend you go watch this. It'll be linked in the description below. Andreas Antonopoulos is a Bitcoin genius. And I have my own belief system is that Bitcoin was created for a reason. I'm not going to dive into that during this actual episode, but I will continue to go deeper. Now, how did I get deep into this, right? 9 years ago, I was an executive at a bank, a vice president at a bank, and I went through CBA executive banking school, and we started to learn the banking system at a deep level. Well, the question I always ask is, where does the money come from, and how are they just printing money? And people would just giggle about it. And so I started to go deep down the rabbit hole as I sought spirituality, and I started to listen to my gut, and something didn't feel right. Well, I understood that our US dollar was deflating dramatically since 1913 when we enacted the Federal Reserve, and specifically in 1971 when we detached from the gold standard. And here's the fact that all fiat currencies that get detached from or some type of asset-backed class go down to zero. So all government-issued currencies always go down to zero in history. That's a fact. Okay, now let's go right in here, and I'm going to start out. I want to start with that fun clip. You can go watch this. These are narratives that you're not hearing on the news. Why is Joe Rogan, one of the top podcasters in the world, consistently talking about Bitcoin or cryptocurrency? Now, here's the thing. Bitcoin is like the brand name. That's more like a gold, right? It doesn't have a lot of utility to it. It's a very it's a hedge against inflation, or yeah, hedge against inflation. Altcoins like XRP, VeChain, two I'm heavily invested in, are alternative coins. What you want to look for is utility. I'm not trying to convince you to buy cryptocurrency. What this is to open up your eyes to the awareness. So I think people like facts, right? So let's take a deep dive around our US currency. Okay, so this is the buying power from 1800 to 2020. Now this chart stops at 2015, but I believe that goes to 2020. You can look all this stuff up yourself, okay? But I think it's easier if I just work to make the complex simple, right? So the buying power of the dollar over time from 1800s, check this out. Look at the buying power of your dollar. Dramatically decreased. So this is the dollar at its full value, okay? Right here in 1817, it dropped down to about, what's that, 0.75 cents per dollar, right, buying power. Then it jumped up. So that was in 1847. It was rocking. Your buying power is it was over. So, okay, then it went way back down in 1865. Now look at this, Warriors. Interesting enough, this is my own research. The Federal Reserve was enacted in 1913. The Federal Reserve is a group of very wealthy people who enacted the Federal Reserve to protect the central banks. It was not attached to the government. It was very wealthy people who printed money for them. So here's 1913, but watch this, Warriors, watch this. So 1913, it kept its value for a little while, went back up in 1931, okay? Now look at this. I think it was 1945, the Petro deal was signed. But 1970, I've explained this to you guys, in 1970, President Nixon detached us from the gold standard. Okay, 1970, look at this. Boom, 1970, right here, we detach from the gold standard. But it's interesting, maybe I could be doing this wrong. Comment below if I have this incorrect. Federal Reserve was enacted, it went up just a little bit, and then ever since then it went down. Then 1970, we detached from the gold standard right here, and it just plummeted. Now we're in 2020, and our American dollar is deflated by 96%. I think it's almost 97%. Don't quote me on that. Now, when you see that our US dollar is doing well, they're comparing it to other currencies throughout the world. So in retrospect, our dollar has lost 96 to almost 97% of its value. Let me repeat that. Your dollar has lost 96 to 97% of its value. So if you gave me something and I gave it back to you with about 1% of value, would you be pissed? Absolutely. You worked hard for that money. Have you started making more money? Have you started making that much more money? No. Okay. So here's the dollar in 1800 adjusted for inflation. Okay. So this represents when $1 is equivalent to $20.63 over time. That means that the real value of the single US dollar decreased over time. In other words, a dollar will pay for fewer items at the store. So here, the dollar could pay for more items. Look how fewer items it can pay for in 2020. That's crazy. Does that make sense? This chart shows calculations of buying power equivalent to $1 in 1800. Price index tracking began in 1635. For example, if you started with $1, you would need to end with $20.63 to adjust for inflation. So your $1 when they started calculating this in 1635, okay, your $1 in 1800 now takes $20.63 to buy the same item. $20.63 to buy the same item. At the same time, your buying power, this is your buying power, at the same time, brings your buying power down. Do you see what's happening? Do you see the correlations here? 1913 enacted, so they enact the Federal Reserve to protect the banks, brings the value back up, and they're like, you know what? Well, here's why. Why did they ask Nixon to detach the gold from the dollar? Because they can print money, and that's what's happening right now. So what is the net result of printing money nonstop? And why during the C word, the pandemic, right during that time, the C word, why have we increased our debt dramatically? Our GDP now is worse than the Great Depression, gross domestic product. So where do you think we're going to go from here, Warriors? Where do you really think we're going to go from here? This is about opening up your eyes. I'm heavily vested in the digital currency. I'm not asking you to. What I'm asking you to do is open up your eyes, not watch the narrative. That's what I'm here to do. I'm a warrior coach. We have a warrior academy where we teach people to think this way, not to follow what we do. If you want to, you can jump into Discord. You can do all that stuff. Look at my portfolio, blah, blah, blah. I'm not a financial advisor, not financial advice, but I'm giving you facts right here to show you how to open up your eyes and your awareness, that this research is available for all of you. As you watch the presidential debates, I'm over here doing research, right? I watched it, but I'm over here doing research nonstop, and I'm sharing this research with you. Okay, so JV, you saw Joe Rogan. I figured because all of us love reality shows and we love talk shows, we love all that stuff. Well, if Joe Rogan has talked about Bitcoin nonstop, he represents the Cash App. He's always pumping the Cash App out there. That is a decentralized peer-to-peer network, right? It's a peer-to-peer network. It is not a bank. Joe Rogan is talking about Bitcoin, he's talking about cryptocurrency, and here we are on streamed live on September 7th, Joe Rogan Experience, Andreas Antonopoulos, one of the top, he's a genius in Bitcoin. Why is he having him on again? So do you think Joe Rogan might be invested in cryptocurrency? Tim Draper, one of the top biggest billionaire investors, tells and says, tell your family about cryptocurrency, digital currency right now, tell your family. Warren Buffett decreases his stocks, decreases his position in banks, increases in Bank of America, which is attached to Ripple, right? Ripple, XRP, one of the cryptocurrencies I'm heavily invested in. I'm fully invested in that. And he increases gold, or he goes out and invests in gold when he said gold was a farce, right? So the narrative is here, warriors. So let's go a little bit deeper, right? So don't trust the Joe Rogan podcast. Don't trust that your dollar is basically worth nothing. You're going to get more stimulus checks. Here's the thing. You're going to get more stimulus checks, warriors. What does that mean? It means your dollar is going to be worth less. You're getting more in your bank, and you're happy because you're getting your thing. Go get your flat screen TV, your iPhone, and guess what? That is deflating your dollar even more. So right now, they have a blank checkbook, and they're like, right. Keep the people scared, or keep the people happy, Keep them focused, give them money as we move to the new quantum financial system, in my opinion, okay? Well, let's go a little bit deeper. So here we go, warriors. Let me close so you don't see my beautiful mug here. Okay, I'll put myself. This is a congress.gov. You all can go here. Okay, so just recently, where's the exact date? Let me find the dates here. 9/29. Woo-wee! When was that, warriors? That was yesterday. I think it was 2 days ago. Congress Safety Technology Act. Well, let's read a little bit about this. This is stuff that's being passed in Congress right now. Okay, to direct a Consumer Protective Safety Commission to establish the pilot program to explore the use of artificial intelligence in support of the mission of the commission to direct the Secretary of Commerce and the Federal Trade Commission to study and report the use of blockchain technology and digital tokens, respectively. That was just passed. An act, HR 8128. Whoa. But you're focused on the C word. And you know what I'm talking about, the C word, right? You're focused on the pandemic. But this stuff is being worked on right now. Get your stimulus checks, warriors. Here we go. Next. Whoa, what else happened? I don't mean to be like facetious about it, but this is what's happening, warriors. This is what I've been researching for 9 years. Digital Taxonomy Act of 2019. Interesting, okay? This is 2019, but 4/9/2019. 2019, to authorize additional appropriation to the Federal Trade Commission to prevent unfair or deceptive acts of practicing relating to digital tokens and transaction relating to digital tokens, and to require and report to Congress and Commission the actions related to these digital tokens. Why would they be working on this? If Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is a fraud, why would they even be working on this? Why would they be spending their money to do this? If it was a fraud and it was something that some kid made in his basement, then why would they be working on this, warriors? Use your brain. Why would they just be printing, deflating your dollar? Why would they be, January 1st, 2021, you were going to see some big announcements, warriors. Healthcare, financial, we're going to the new quantum financial system. I just want to open up your eyes. That's all I'm here to do. Okay, so I'm going to give you some more stuff, because I know we don't like we don't like to hear facts, right? We want to hear from the influencers out there. And I'm going to show you one more influencer that you've all seen, okay? All right, so let's go down here. September 1st, 2020. Sorry for being like this, guys. It's just, I'm like, come on, guys. Hopefully I'm getting you irritated. I'm getting you hyped up. Warriors, we need to activate. Blockchain Innovation Act. Blockchain, Bitcoin, altcoins. Think about that. Blockchain. That's what I'm invested in, okay? Not a financial advisor, not financial. On 9/1/2020, as we're worried about the presidential debates and all the stuff going on, to direct the Secretary of Commission, and mind you, let me show you, this is a congress.gov. These are actual acts that I'm reading. This is the stuff that I read. I don't watch the news. I actually read the acts and executive orders. To direct the Secretary of Commerce in consultation with the Federal Trade Commission to conduct and study and submit Congress reports on the state of the blockchain technology and the use in consumer protection and other purposes. Consumer protection. Interesting. Why would they be spending their money on studying this? Well, let's go a little bit deeper. Okay, so requirements for study. In conducting the study, for the Secretary shall examine the trends in commercial use of investment in blockchain technology, best practices in facilitating public and private partnerships in blockchain technology, XRP, potential benefits and risk of blockchain technology for consumer and protection, how blockchain technology can be used by industry and consumers to reduce fraud and increase the security of commercial transactions. Let me read that again. How blockchain technology can use in the industry and consumers to reduce and increase the security of commercial transactions. Haven't you been told that cryptocurrency is a fraud? Interesting. Areas in federal regulations of blockchain technology where greater clarity would encourage domestic innovation and any other relevant observations and recommendations relative to blockchain and technology and consumer protection. This is happening right now, warriors. Act, bill. Last year, a month ago. Okay, so we heard about Joe Rogan. Everybody knows who Joe Rogan is, one of the biggest influencers in the world, talking about blockchain, talking about Cash App. And on PayPal, you can now really be able to buy and sell cryptocurrency or crypto or Bitcoin, okay? CNBC. You guys all know who Mad Money is, right? Do you guys know who Mad Money is? Jim Cramer finally buying Bitcoin. Just watch an interview with him, and he's literally asking a Bitcoin maximalist on how to hedge against inflation, and a decreasing U.S. dollar, and how he can set his kids up for generational wealth. In the Warrior Academy, mind, body, immunity, and generational wealth building. I started to share this information, not being a financial advisor, not financial advice, just saying, hey guys, open up your eyes, here's what I'm doing, here's my portfolio, here's how we roll, okay? So Warriors, Joe Rogan, CNBC, Jim Cramer, Warren Buffett moving into gold, moving out of banks, fiat currency, okay? Tim Draper, one of the top investors in the world, billionaire, saying, tell your family about the digital age, and all this is happening. Are you seeing this on the news, warriors? All you're seeing is the bickering back and forth in the presidential election, the C word, the pandemic, all these things going on, warriors. Warriors, you need to protect your mind. And you protect your mind by doing education. Don't trust a word I say, warriors. Don't trust a word I say. Do your own research. I'm just documenting my journey and the information that I have found that I feel can protect you and your family. I plan on building generational wealth for my family. And I've set myself for that. Even though I lost my money 3 times and once again, because of the C word, shut my business down, I didn't just sit back, warriors. I watched what the billionaires were doing. And I started to act like a billionaire. Saving money, flipping and investing, saving money, flipping and investing. And I took myself from losing everything once again to the potential to build generational wealth for my family. Is it the right way? I feel it's the right way because of my research. I don't trust the narrative of the 98%. I fall with the 2% to the 1% of people who can control 97% of the population. And warriors, this isn't about money. This is about freedom. It's about building generational wealth for family to family to family. So I love you guys very, very much. I hope this information hits your heart and it helped you understand that you have the power inside of you to accomplish great things. You are truly a warrior. You are a champion. And most of all, you're rich. Warriors, rise. Let's go get that.